Why did Loki have to end off like that? Why did Loki have to end off on such a cliffhanger like that, man? We have a lot of answers that need, well, we have a lot of questions first that need some answering. That's exactly what I was trying to say right there. We're going to be looking at this article that Screen Rant put out saying Loki Season 2 Episode 4 ending explained, because I'm a little bit confused myself. I'm going to be giving my own insight on what I think the future holds for the next episode or two, because right now I think we're only getting 6 episodes this season and we're down to 2 more left. All right, so we can only imagine what these next 2 episodes have in store for us. So let's get straight into it. How the MCU timeline exploded. Explained. Let's read the first paragraph right here. Although there was a plan to expand the temporal loom's rings to handle the influx of new branched realities using a throughput multiplier, the entire MCU timeline shockingly exploded after the temporal loom overloaded before it could even be installed. Yeah, because when Victor Timely ran out there, he volunteered himself, which I thought was like, okay, it's true. He kind of helped build, well, not help build, he did invent the temporal loom and was able to kind of know what to do with the throughput multiplier, and then he just evaporated. Apparently there wasn't enough time to stabilize the loom despite Victor Timely's attempt to fix it, as the temporal radiation had become far too strong, tearing Victor to shreds before he could even make it across the gangway. Yeah, he was gone, and literally, I don't even think he made it like 2 steps out. As such, all Loki and his allies could do was watch as the timeline and entire TVA were seemingly decimated at the end of the episode. Yes, it landed on the biggest just whew, like even the music didn't even fade out. It just like ended with, you know, everything around it. But that's the thing. What's next? According to Loki producer Kevin Wright, exactly what happens when the temporal loom exploded was hugely impactful, setting up Loki and his allies' mission for the final 2 episodes. Yes, we only have 2 episodes left, so they gotta bring us a lot of information here. Well, reality is gone. Loki's going to have to bring reality back somehow, so I think time will tell how he figures out how to do that. Here's my thing about that, though. All right. Miss Minutes, right, went to the 19th century to, you know, do what He Who Remains said, which was give Victor Timely the book, because he said, this is the plan if, you know, I end up dying, because he knew in the future what was going to happen, this, that, the third. So if he was supposed to get that book, him being Victor Timely was supposed to get that book, then the whole plan should have worked. It's kind of just like, what went wrong after that point? That's what I'm confused at. Maybe I'm missing a detail. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's because that moment where He Who Remains was kind of like, okay, I don't know what's happening at this point. Maybe, you know, if stuff like that wasn't happening, then the plan would have worked with, you know, getting Victor Timely there, you know, eventually when He Who Remains dies, so that way the TVA can always be restored back to its original place. I don't know. I'm still very, very confused, and I'm trying to put pieces together, because if Victor Timely was supposed to be the one to receive the book to go back to the TVA so that way things could get fixed, then why did he just disappear out of nowhere when he was trying to cross the gangway and he only got like 1 step out? You know, I'm just Next paragraph. Now that the entire timeline has exploded with massive amounts of temporal energy and radiation, there is a major concern that the entire TVA has been completely destroyed, along with everyone within. This was the very thing Loki and his allies were trying to prevent, and now it's happened. As such, it certainly looks as though Loki Season 2's entire cast of characters has met their end in the MCU. Intriguingly, Kevin Wright teased to Tech Radar that everyone will be seen in Loki episode 5 and 6, responding to the theory that the explosion may have acted the same way pruning does. That is true. What I'm also confused on is that if that's the case right here, it says Kevin Wright teased to Tech Radar that everyone will be seen in Loki episode 5 and 6, responding to the theory that the explosion may have acted the same way as pruning. So Loki pruned himself because that was the Loki that time slipped to see Sylvie in the elevator, right? The Loki that was in present time with Sylvie pruned the Loki that was time slipping. So is he gonna see two of himself? If the whole pruning thing works, because when you're pruned, you technically end up in the void, which is close to the end of time. You know what I mean? So is there gonna be like two Lokis, or did the explosion get rid of that Loki, and then the Loki that was pruned is the only one left? I don't know, because even the time slipping thing is confusing as well. It's also worth noting that Ravonna Renslayer killed General Dox and her Minutemen before the entire timeline imploded, having refused to join her in her new mission to run the TVA herself along with Miss Minutes. Ravonna crushed General Dox and her soldiers using the TVA's cube generating machine. The only survivor was X5, Brad Wolf, who agreed to join Renslayer, having promised him the life he once had on the timeline as an actor. This X5 dude is a turd. Always switching sides and crap. He was with General Dox, and then he just switches over to the other side, and this, that, the third, whatever. Dude's a snake. It's more than likely that the MCU timeline will somehow be restored in the episodes to come. However, the exact means of repairing the MCU timeline is currently unknown, with such an ambiguous and surprising ending. The true shock of Loki Season 2, Episode 4's cliffhanger is the fact that there is no telling where the show will go next, and how things will be set right going forward, seeing as how everything and everyone at the TVA looks to be no more, not to mention the entire multiverse itself. Kevin Wright's comments that Loki will have to fix reality. That is a lie. So you mean to tell me that the fate of reality rests in Loki's hands? That is a tall, tall order to ask from him. That's, whew, I don't know. I don't know what you're expecting Loki to do, but hey, I'm here for it. There's 2 episodes left. What can you fit in? What's next in Loki Season 2 after the timeline exploded? The best estimation is that there will still be a path to restore the timeline and temporal loom via some sort of new time loop or paradox. After all, there are still 2 more episodes of Loki Season 2 that have yet to be released. It follows that there will be a new way forward for Loki to hopefully get things back on track. At any rate, Loki Season 2 is certainly following the classic Marvel Studios trend with its shows on Disney+. The 4th episode is always almost one of the best and most surprising chapters overall. Yep, it kind of was like that, especially with mid-season of Ahsoka. That 5th episode, man. Woo! We all know it. Everything Loki Season 2 trailers reveal about what's to come. It's worth noting that there are several different shots from Loki Season 2's trailer that have yet to be seen, such as B-15 appearing to be a doctor, Casey going down a narrow corridor, as well as Loki in a TVA jumpsuit. Presumably a future attempt to stabilize the temporal loom. Likewise, there's also a shot of Loki outside a jet ski dealership, hinting that Mobius Beach will be revealed in the episodes to come. Oh, so we might see that variant of Mobius that, hasn't been seen yet. After so much talk about Mobius reality and why he's yet to visit it, perhaps the implosion of the multiverse will put everyone at the TVA back on their original branched realities. So Loki's just, basically trying to get the band back together, because now they're in their original realities before being taken to work at the TVA. Okay. Makes total freaking sense. Will Kang return in Loki Season 2? One of the most surprising elements beyond the entirety of the TVA being destroyed was the sudden and equally shocking demise of Victor Timely. Yeah, he just was gone like that. As such, it does bring into question what kind of future this Kang variant will have going forward in the rest of Loki Season 2. Considering some of the mysteries that still exist, such as Victor's time paradox with Obi, and where their shared knowledge of time and the multiverse comes from, it stands to reason that Timely will be seen again before the MCU likely pivots to some other Kang variant. So we'll see Victor Timely again, I guess. And then the next one, is Victor Timely really dead? One can imagine that this is not the last that's been seen of Victor Timely. Despite his vicious and very instant death via temporal radiation, assuming Loki, Sylvie, and their fellow allies somehow survive, which they likely will, it follows that Timely will be resurrected as well. However, one has to wonder how said radiation might have affected Timely going forward in the MCU. Perhaps Timely will come back somehow altered, the next step in his evolution into He Who Remains or some other version of Kang the Conqueror. Maybe he will just evolve into a much smarter person, a much smarter Victor Timely, because, you know, who knows where he is at right now. He's technically not dead, according to what's been said in this article, and nor is the whole band of heroes of Loki, Sylvie, and the rest of the allies of the TVA. I feel that episode 5 is just going to be, this is me just going based off of what's been said in the article, if all the TVA people are back to their original realities. Mobius is on the beach, B-15 is a doctor, you know, Ouroboros is something, blah, blah, blah. Maybe episode 5 is him trying to get the band back together, the whole allies, and letting him know, hey, this is your glorious purpose, this is what you're supposed to be doing, we need to get things back on track. And then episode 6 is, you know, him trying to make that last ditch effort to bring reality back. Maybe that's just how it's going to go for the last 2 episodes. We don't know. All we have to do is just read our articles, you know, really think out our theories, and wait until the new episode of Loki releases on Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern time. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down below on what your thoughts are for what we've gotten from episode 4 and what we can expect in the future. If you have any theories, feel free to, you know, leave it down in the comments. I really do want to hear it. Leave a like on this video. It helps out so much. And if you're new to the channel and you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit the subscribe, turn on post notifications, and thank you for watching.